Ladies and gentlemen, so it's been kind of quiet when it comes to Fulton County, when it comes to the Trump RICO case for the last couple weeks. We know that after the Judge McAfee's ruling that either Big Penny Fanny can stay in the case or Wade, only one of them has to go. Trump's legal team have appealed, and their appeal was granted. And now the case is being looked over again, whether Fani Willis should be removed or not. But since that ruling, there have been many hearings. There have been bombshells dropped. There have been even Fulton County election board members who have testified in front of judges and in front of the Georgia Senate saying that in 2020 they actually voted to refuse to certify the election because of all the problems they've seen, plus much more. But before we get into that, really quickly, I want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Midas Gold Group. They're a second generation Christian, veteran, family owned gold, silver, and precious metals IRA firm. They protect your money from Bidenomics, that is Biden inflation, high gas prices, collapse of the dollar, and bank runs. They are backed by Sebastian Gorka himself. Their headquarters are in Phoenix, Arizona, with customers in all 50 states, including Canada and worldwide. Contact them today at MidasGoldGroup.com or call them at 480-360-3000. Mention Vlad from American News Network. Get a bunch of free silver. Let's get right into it. We're going to be looking at we're going to go to an article, and then we're going to actually look at somebody who I made a video about her. She went in to Washington, D.C. She brought evidence of Joe Biden, colluding with foreign nationals and Dominion. That evidence was presented to a federal judge in D.C., and then people got arrested. The people that tried to expose the crimes got arrested. Let's get right into everything. Here's number one. Justin, Fulton County election board members drops shocking testimony. A member of the Fulton County Registration and Elections Board testified this week that he voted against certifying the county's 2020 election results due to what he claimed were insufficient attempts by election officials to inform him of steps taken to mitigate voter fraud. Mark Wingate, a Republican, testified at the disbarment hearing for former United States Assistant Attorney General Jeffrey Clark, one of 19 co-defendants charged by District Attorney Fani Willis, seeking to overturn Georgia's presidential election results. Now, Trump and his co-defendants have been indicted for trying to overturn the election results. But the people that certified the election said they didn't even want to certify it. One thing that led me to, this is a quote from him, one thing that led me to initially have concern about everything was, I started looking at our voter rolls, and I did some fairly simplistic research on the population of Fulton County. Wingate said during a remote meeting, what I found out and started pressing with the election department was we had more voters on the active voter rolls than we did of the population of the entirety of Fulton County. So that's the most important part. It's a huge article, but that's like the grand slam. More people are on the voter rolls in Fulton County than there are people living. That's people who are here on a work visa, exchange students, children, people who can't vote, maybe felons. That is a huge number. Now, we're also going to jump to my Twitter page. We all remember her. Michigan lawyer Stephanie Lambert arrested by United States Marshals in D.C. following court appearance for submitting, quote, evidence of numerous crimes, including internal emails from Dominion voting systems, to law enforcement.
That Biden.
This is a video of the evidence that was presented that day, ladies and gentlemen. Listen.
That Biden visited Serbia in May of 2009.
Biden visited Serbia in May of 2009
to personally recruit computer hackers. There to control future Dominion software design. On Dominion's website, Serbia is marked as the location of the company's branch. It is significant to note that Scott Bennett worked as a counterterrorism threat finance analyst as well as was the liaison officer to the State Department coordinator for counterterrorism under Ambassador Del Daly, former general of Joint Special Operations Command. So in my capacity as working for General Daly at the State Department Counterterrorism Office, I interfaced with some of the activities that were going on in 2009 with regards to UBS securities and some of these terrorist activities that we were tracking at the State Department and at Special Operations Command and at the Joint Military Information Support Command.
So that is the evidence that was presented in a federal DC court. And as soon as that evidence was presented, the main attorney that's leading the charge on behalf of Michigan, she was arrested. Now, what's interesting is she has been very quiet. We know she bonded out, but she's been very quiet. Not doing any media releases. And it's just like the people that are trying to get to the truth and save our republic are the people being arrested, people being indicted, people being shunned. But ladies and gentlemen, as I always do, I'm going to finish this with great news. The Republican National Convention is no longer run by rhinos, right? The co-chairwoman is Laura Trump. Their very first day, they fired over 60 people. Then, not only that, but they actually on day number 2 said, we are investing more money into 2024 than we have in the previous 5 elections combined. We are training up right now tens of thousands of poll watchers, workers, volunteers, attorneys that are going to be in all the swing states. Not only that, but they are putting together the biggest, most expensive ballot harvesting organization ever. And they are throwing them out at the United States. This is what happened in 2020. They used social media, they used Twitter, they used TikTok, they used ballot harvesting. They had a bunch of untrained poll watchers. Not this year. Last, but finally not least, TikTok. Do you want to know the real reason Joe Biden wants TikTok removed right now on election year? Leading up to 2020, if you're scrolling through TikTok, for every one positive video about Trump, you would see 20 negative. The tides have turned. For every one positive video you see about Biden, you see 40, 50, 60 negative videos about Biden, and at least 30 to 40 positive about Trump. To one positive video about Biden, you get at least 40 to 50 negative videos and 30 to 40 positive about Trump. This is when you look at the poll numbers among Gen Z, you see that Trump is winning because the tides have turned. I have ran across videos where people who 3 years ago on TikTok were shouting, Biden, yeah, great savior of democracy, are saying, look, Trump, I'm sorry. I done messed up. I'm voting for you. Blacks, Hispanics, Asians, elder people, millennials, Gen Z. TikTok shift. It did a huge 180 shift. And this is why the Democrats fear TikTok. They fear Twitter. They fear truth-telling platforms. That's why they want YouTube taking down videos that oppose the Democrat agenda. Because they know they're losing. We finally have an RNC that is run by real America First MAGA patriots. The social media narrative is not on the side of the far left extremists anymore. And when it comes to cable news, well, nobody cares about that anymore. It's already dead. They just haven't realized it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. We're going to keep getting down to the bottom of the truth. We're going to keep fighting for truth. We're never going to give up. We're never going to give in. And we're never going to surrender. God bless you, Trump 2020.